welcome back to the Thrill of the Fight 2 YouTube page. Today is footwork and head movement, so be ready for it.
I mastered the world from all angles. You let adversity entertain you, and your opposition shame you. So you can bring.
So for this warm-up, I'm going to bounce back and forth, making sure I stay a little bit wider than shoulders, so that way I can attack on the forward step or the backward step. So I'm here, forward, back. I'm just warming up, bear with me here. So we're staying in our a little bit wider than shoulder length. My hands are up. And again, here, I could fire, or I could bounce back and fire off the back foot. Fire up top, fire back here. I never go here where I'm too close, or I'm too wide, I can't fire here. So making sure I am staying a little bit wider than shoulder length at both forward and backward movements. Making sure my toe and my heel, if I ever stopped and I went in a straight line, do my toes go to my heel? If yes, perfect. As we get better at that, I want you to add a jab and a cross. Watch. Jab forward, still taking my base considering all the other things. Jab forward, cross on the back step. Boom, boom, boom. So throughout this warm-up, I want you to start to throw punches that feel comfortable. So forward, backward. And I'm just kind of throwing. I'm not thinking too much. I'm just kind of throwing whenever I feel comfortable. I'm not forcing anything out. And then I want you to start moving like you're shadowboxing. Shoulder length apart. Stop. Toe to heel. So now I've turned the foundations into a drill. Keeping my hands up. Keeping my feet shoulder length apart. Staying on my toes. Making sure if I ever stopped, could I sit there and throw? Am I comfortable? Do I have my base? Now that we're warmed up, I'm gonna give you two options for footwork, and I'm gonna give you two options for head movement after or before that footwork. I'll explain. So I'm in my stance here. I'm gonna push off the back leg like I was whenever I moved forward for that jab, but I'm gonna plant my feet here. I'm not gonna jump back out right away. I'm gonna throw my two, and then you can always gauge, right? So if I'm here, I could push off the back leg, 1, 2, I'm turning over for the 2. And then if my opponent stays, maybe the 3 makes sense. Or maybe he goes real high guard because I threw straight punches, and then you eat up body, right? So you can kind of gauge from here. But to test the waters out, what you could do, 1, 2, immediately off this front leg, bounce back, get out of there. Boom. What does your opponent do? Does he push forward? Then I know I got out of there, but I still had my base because I warmed up properly, and I could fire off of this if he does push. If he doesn't push, maybe he just defended. He threw his high guard up. Now I know that on the next time, maybe I'm here, I go 1, 2, get off the line, and I go big body shot because his high guard went up previous time I did it. Or maybe the second I went in, my aggressive opponent threw right back at me. So I've learned that coming straight towards my opponent is not gonna work out, even if my head is moving. So then the next variation of this that I want you to do is a simple step out cross. I'm gonna pivot and create an angle here, and then we can exit, depending on my opponent's reaction. Let's walk through it. I'm in my stance and I just pushed forward and threw a 1, 2, and my opponent pushed back. I didn't like it, I got out of there. I know that pressure was met with pressure. So now, like a matador and a bull, I need to set that red flag out and then not be there. I'm gonna step out with this lead leg diagonally and throw my cross. From here, I'm gonna make sure I'm staying on my toes on this leg. I don't wanna be on my heels, because when I try to sit and pivot, look at my knee, not fun. Even right there, it felt so uncomfortable. But if I were to get on my toes and then hit the pivot, my heel is not there to stop the friction, and I am there, I could do ballerina flip this whole thing. I could spin all day off that toe. So step out diagonally, throw the cross, and then from here, I'm gonna fishtail this back leg like a car fishtails when it hits the e-brake and the back tires go. These are my back tires. I'm gonna stay on my toe and skid, and I'm hitting an angle now. The first variation of this was 1, 2. My opponent was aggressive, so then I pushed back. I know pressure is met with pressure, so now I'm gonna trick pressure by stepping off the line. Here's my pressure, let that pressure come, and just like that bull, I'm gonna stay on my toes, pivot off, let that attack go, and then I'm attacking at this angle. But remember, people react very quickly, so it's not like I'm gonna be here and he's gonna be like, where'd he go? So the second you pivot out, he's gonna follow you. So now you can see how this is all chaining together. So I'm going from having a strong base, making sure I can move in and out with that base. Now I'm gonna come in and attack with that strong base underneath me. I'm gonna exit off to cage the fighter. If the fighter is not aggressive and went with a high guard, I know I can step back in and attack even further. If the fighter was aggressive, then I'm gonna set that trap. I'm gonna step off the line, hit the attack, let the aggressive fighter go, hit the angle, and then attack from there. But again, it only takes them a second to readjust, so consider that. Maybe that's where I pull straight back after my attack. So I can kind of do the first half, the middle, and then rinse and repeat this first half of the ending. So I come in and attack, he pushes forward, now I'm gonna set that trap, I'm gonna step out, I'm gonna hit the pressure, he'll return with pressure, I go here, I hit my own attack, but again, he's gonna recenter, and then maybe I push off the lead leg, just like my warm-up, to get out. Once I get out, I can gauge his feeling, and then I rinse and repeat. And now the thing about head movement for this situation is that add your head movement before and after every single exchange. If my feet are not moving, my head's moving. If my head's not moving, my feet are moving. So if I'm on my stance and my feet are sitting still, my head's gonna be moving. And if my head's sitting still, then I gotta make sure my feet are moving in some fashion. I never wanna be just a sitting still target. So let's add those premeditated slips and counters into the footwork. So I'm here in my stance, premeditated, which means he could be doing a jab or cross or whatever it's going to be. If nothing's happening, my head is still moving, still kind of giving him, like, hey, there's this, and kind of giving him a look, always moving something, always moving. And again, if my head's not moving, my feet are moving. So let's start that chain of combination. Head movement. Here, I come in, 1, 2, maybe he is not aggressive, so I push back, I gauge his feeling, cool. When I get back, I'm still moving. And now I want to go test the waters again. He went high guard, I'm gonna attack the body now. So now I'm here, I step in, boom, boom, body, boom, nice. Maybe he hasn't gone anywhere, maybe he's still sitting high guard, shelling. Now I don't have to move. Maybe now's the time, so close quarters, cross, step out. Now I'll hit the angle, boom, boom, boom. And maybe he readjusts, maybe he comes back and readjusts and fires off. Right off that adjustment, then just like the warm-up, bounce back, and then I can counter as long as I take my base with me. So you can see how we can intertwine this to a million different situations, right? You can start with the cross step out. So you can start here, boom, boom. All right, maybe that's enough. Maybe you don't even have to pivot. Maybe just the step off the line and throwing the cross is whiplashing his head enough to where, okay, do that over and over again, boom, boom. And then when he starts to wake up to it, then I get boom, angle, boom, boom. If you're gonna take anything away from this, it's gonna be repetition, is everything. I'm not gonna get good at anything if I don't practice consistently. So consistently, before you get your matches going, consistently. My feet are apart, I have a strong base here. Good, every morning, good. Maybe I just start with the 1-2s. And I'm not throwing like crazy, I'm just kind of here, kind of tossing my arms out and warming up and making sure my shoulders are good and my hips are good here. Maybe you need more of a pivot rotation to help your hips warm up because you are throwing monster hooks the whole time, and maybe you need to sit here and really warm up. But in those warm-ups, we can definitely get used to the muscle memory of fighting and the certain rotations that we have to do. I'll say it once and I'll say it again, you get better at the things that you do the most. So if what you practice the most is that quick 1-2 and bounce out, you're gonna get real good at coming in and boom, boom, stunning someone and bouncing out of there. If you get real good at stepping off the line and throwing that cross counter, you're gonna get real good at the timing of it. You're gonna start to do it so much that you're gonna learn on average what someone is gonna do in response to it. And then you're gonna come up with counters based on the responses. Welcome to the fight life, even if it's in VR. Fight IQ is very much a real thing, so if you have any questions on any of the things I've gone over today, please leave a comment. Let me know what you would like to see or maybe what you're having trouble with, because I'm happy to make full-length videos for you guys. This is exactly what this is for, to make sure that you guys have the tools you need to really do some damage and really be able to think beyond the game. Think boxing, VR boxing, integrate them both. We're developing something brand new here, and we're at the foundation of it. And I don't know if you noticed that, but I definitely do. We're at the foundation of a brand new thing. Not only do we get to see it and spectate it, but we get to be a part of it. So learning your foundation today in preparation for the big sport that VR boxing is going to be your way to get ahead. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my other ones right here and make sure to subscribe right here, please. Thank you very much.